welcome to another episode of Displaying-Model-Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and let's talk about the nerdy news that you need to know about. It's the only news that matters. It's good news.
Knuckles from the Sonic movies is getting his own Paramount Plus spin-off show, and why the heck not? Cinematic universes are still the big thing, but now we're pivoting from comic book cinematic universes to video games. Mario is still blowing up the box office. People are loving that movie, or even if they're indifferent to it, they're going to see it. That's the big take-home from that. And Sonic, in fairness, Sonic got in there first. Before Mario had a movie that smashed all the box office records, Sonic had a movie that just genuinely surprised people. We were like, oh, this is actually really enjoyable. And you know what? That's not really deep either. A lot of people are saying like, oh, Mario's not that good. It's not a very deep story. Well, you know what? Neither is Sonic. But you know what it is also? It's a fun 90 minutes where you can just go and enjoy some lighthearted entertainment. There's a lot to be said for that. Sometimes we don't want to be challenged. Life is challenging. Sometimes I want 90 minutes to not be challenged. That's what I'm trying to give you guys when you watch Model Behaviour, is something completely non-cerebral and undemanding. That's why you can put me on in the background when you go and do other stuff. Happy days, what's not to love? So yeah, Knuckles show coming to Paramount Plus, and keep an eye on that. And a big one for me that, I don't want to get too excited yet, but I already am because I can't help myself because I'm a great big kid. Robocop might be getting new movies or a TV show or something, and that fills me with joy. So recently, Amazon bought MGM Studios, which with it came a whole bunch of intellectual properties. Let me just read off the ones that I don't really care about, but I feel like, as a news reporting journalist, it's my responsibility to tell you. I almost didn't say that word correctly, but F it, we're here now. Stargate, Legally Blonde, Fame, Barbershop, The Magnificent Seven, Pink Panther, and The Thomas Crown Affair. Those are all franchises that they are considering doing stuff with. The Stargate could be a kind of fun one, but Robocop is the one that's making all the headlines. Why? Because Robocop's amazing. That's why. We're about to get a brand new Robocop game, which I don't know if it's going to be good, bad, or indifferent. Robocop is being voiced by Peter Weller. There's so much nostalgia for the Robocop brand at the moment. This is a perfect time to do something new with that license. And look, we've had an awful Robocop TV show in the 90s. Actually, look, it wasn't awful. It was just, We've had the Robocop reboot in 2014, which a lot of people say like, oh, that was terrible. It wasn't terrible. It just was like, couldn't hold a candle to the original Robocop. But now if we could just try and like do something new with the property, with the franchise, it'll make me so happy. So yes, come on Amazon. If you're going to buy up everything, you might as well do something good with it. So bring us, hopefully very, very soon, some new Robocop content. Over in comic books, just a really little random quick aside, I saw a preview for XForce 39, and it just kind of reminded me just how unlikable and rubbish a lot of Marvel characters are written these days. So they're having this drinking game, Wolverine, Wolverine, not Wolverine, but X-23 Wolverine is having a drinking game with Juggernaut and Strong Guy and maybe someone else to celebrate her joining the team or whatever, and they all get drunk and play let's hit each other in the face, and they take it in turns, and then she decides to stab them because she's Wolverine. What? Gosh, why? What? Who acts like that? No one does. No real person does, or if they did, they'd be a psychopath. That's not... I haven't read the issue, okay? So, maybe... Oh, no, actually, she suddenly turns violent because she's being mind-controlled or something. But I don't think so. I think a writer's just this is cool and edgy and funny and, No, it's not. It's just that you're just writing your characters to act like drunk frat boy idiots. I'm willing to bet that the writer of this comic probably wasn't, at any point in his life, a drunken frat boy idiot, but he seems to want to represent them or turn some of our beloved characters into them. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Yeah, come on, Marvel. I think I'm just salty towards Marvel at the moment because of everything that they're doing with Spider-Man and just Did you know that there is 250,000 metric tons of salt in the Atlantic Ocean, and that is still not as salty as my bitch ass? Yeah, it's true, I know, but sometimes I just gotta... Ha! Is X-Force good? Are the X-Men good? Are Marvel Comics good anymore? I don't know, comment below, let me know. Tell me I'm wrong. Yeah, I want to be proved wrong, but I so rarely am. Nah, I'm kidding, I'm proved wrong all the time. Over in pro wrestling, things are getting interesting again in WWE. We are about to have the WWE Draft. And normally that's the most boring way of shaking things up. It's like, oh, we don't know what to do. The product's stale. Let's have a draft. However, internally, this draft is being considered the official start of the Triple H era of WWE, and this could be real interesting to see where they go. So for the last year, Triple H has pretty much been in charge of WWE creative. However, he's always been kind of a caretaker of what was set up before by Vince McMahon, whereas now this is his official etch-a-sketch, shake everything up, clear out what was there, and start again. So apparently they're going to be breaking up tag teams, they're going to be moving people to different shows, establishing new factions, just a whole new clean slate. And I say a whole new clean slate. I'm sure they're going to be keeping stuff like the Bloodline and various other things going, but generally, this is the start of what should be a new beginning. And honestly, I'm interested to see what it looks like. Bring it on. Win me back over. I think that would be awesome. Let's see what happens. Over in merchandise, Pure Arts have a couple of cowls for us. First of all, they've got the classic Michael Keaton prop Batman display cowl, and this honestly, I mean, who wouldn't want to get this and just put it on their head and go, yeah, I'm Batman. I mean, come on, it looks really great. I love the rubbery Tim Burton latex looking cowl. I know, completely impractical, cannot turn head or anything like that. He still looks less derpy than Christian Bale mouth breathing for 3 hours. So I love that Michael Keaton Batman look. That looks really, really cool. I mean, it should be, because it's very expensive. You're talking about $800, but still, it's a pretty badass centerpiece. And what's it going to be on its own? Well, just one thing. But you know what happens if you add another thing? That makes two things. And you can do that with the Selena Kyle Batman Returns Catwoman cowl. And again, this looks terrific as well. I'm a little bit dubious when I see the price tag, though, of $700. Because I see that, I'm like, wait a minute, I watched that movie. Selena Kyle built that in an apartment out of scraps! I guarantee the coat that she cut up didn't cost $700. But this cowl does, and hey, look, yeah, if you got money to burn, if you're the guy who's got everything, then maybe get yourself a Catwoman cowl, because yeah, it does look kind of fun. Speaking of kind of fun, you can get yourself on Amazon, because of a nice little price reduction, a classic 1992, maybe? Terminator 2 arcade light gun cabinet. This is a nostalgia bomb right here. I mean, it's funny to look back on it. The Terminator 2 light gun game, it's not a good game. It's just a coin muncher from the early 90s. But if you're someone who wants to have that little nostalgic retro area, I mean, come on, Terminator 2 is my jam. I was talking about Robocop earlier, talking about Terminator 2 now. This is my kind of episode of Moral Behavior. Love it, man. But also, if someone gave me a T2 light gun arcade cabinet as a gift, I'd be like, thanks! How am I supposed to do with this now? Because, yeah, you got to be someone who just has so much space and room for their collection of awesomeness, they can just slide an arcade cabinet in there too. But it does look pretty wicked. Now, here's something pretty wicked. Speaking of pretty wicked, as I like to say with my little segues, there is a Mortal Kombat Katana statue wearing, I think, her costume from Mortal Kombat 3 or Gold. Definitely not Mortal Kombat 2, which was more just like a bathing suit. This has got like the little stitching in between. So I think that's from Mortal Kombat 3. Regardless where it's from, it looks awesome. It should do, because it's about $1,500. But hey, it's 1/3 scale, so it's a big statue. Okay, but yeah, I really, really love this. 2 different head portraits as well, so you can have the mask or the unmasked version. So that looks really, really nice. I have a sneaking suspicion, strokey beard, that we're going to get a Melina repaint version, because it makes perfect sense. Why wouldn't you just print money like that? You can have them bookending next to your 2 Batman cowls. Ah, gosh, if I had infinite money in space, I would have the most badass looking apartment But well, why would I be living in an apartment if I had infinite money and space? I don't know, I guess I set my expectations low. Regardless, this figure is going to be available January of 2004. So you got a little time to save up for it. Go fill your boots. And if one insanely priced statue is not enough, again, not insanely priced, I'm sure it's worth what they're charging for it, but it's still a lot of money, you know? If one of those isn't enough, then you can get a Monster Arts statue as well. Let me read off the full details here, okay? So, this is the Pure Arts Unleashed Negigante effort with new Monster Hunter World statue. Okay, that was a whole bunch of words that didn't make a huge amount of sense, but it's a Monster Hunter statue. I should have just led with that, to be honest. But yeah, it's super beautiful and super expensive. $1,400, and it's going to be revealed. Not revealed, it's revealed now. It's going to be released Q3 2024, and it's 30 inches tall, which is, I don't know, is that 30 inches? I have no idea. I'm not good with estimating shapes, sizes, or people's emotions. I don't read social cues very well. It's something I have to contend with. Regardless, this looks kind of cool. If you're a Monster Hunter person, go get it. I've never really played Monster Hunter. Too many numbers, too many stats. Can't handle that. Nah, I'm more of a platformer kind of guy. Over in Cosplay Corner, Kamiko Zero. Big old shout out to this lady right here. Just killing the game. Mainly it was the X-Men cosplay that kind of caught my eye. When as soon as you dress up in the classic 90s costumes, man, you're gonna win a little piece of my heart, quite frankly. Especially if you're doing a Jean Grey blue and yellow costume. It's funny, for me that will always be the most iconic Jean Grey costume, because that's what I was introduced to the X-Men with. Although I appreciate that actually the one she always goes back to is the Green Phoenix one, because for a lot of people that's their Jean Grey, and I get that. But for me, ridiculous 90s open face, hair coming out the top, jumpsuit, that's Jean Grey. But all of her other costumes as well, I mean, just kind of ludicrous. Again, just the amount of time, work, and effort that goes into creating these things. Really incredible. I'd say, you know, go give her a support. But I mean, also she's got like hundreds of thousands of subscribers anyway. But go add your numbers to that, because hey, what the heck? It's definitely deserved. These look amazing. And finally, just a fun little thing for you to go and watch on YouTube, a fan-made trailer for a fictional Back to the Future 4 movie. I think is so worth watching. And I put a little link in the description below. Back to the Future is one of those movies that just fills me with just happiness and nostalgia. The music, the little sound cues, the diddly diddloo, diddly diddloo, diddly doo. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it's just beautiful. And because I just watched the trailer for the Michael J. Fox documentary still about his life and battling Parkinson's disease, and that just looks like just tear-jerkingly beautifully inspiring. I'm like, let's go and enjoy some Back to the Future nostalgia. So yeah, if you want to go check that out, click the link in the description below. It's a brilliant mashup using footage from different movies, Ready Player One, various other things. So you got the DeLorean in there, and it totally, if you weren't familiar with the clips being shown, you could be like, no, that legit looks like a Back to the Future 4. So yeah, that's really cool. Go check it out. It's a good nostalgic time. And folks, that does it for Good News for today. What did you think about the stories covered? Comment below. Let me know. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then you know what you got to do. You got to join the 6-1 clicks by clicking the like, share, and subscribe buttons. I just started to see how quickly I can do that. So gang, thank you for all of the support that you have been showing the channel. We've had a couple of people join up to the Patreon recently. Thank you so much for that. There's more content hitting the Patreon on a near weekly basis. I'm getting better. Episode 2 of the X-Men Deep Dive is coming out tonight, hopefully. Plus another store tour of Japan, me going around Book Off, which is a second-hand store with a lot of very, very cool stuff. So there's some fun stuff on the Patreon and the YouTube channel members section. It's all the same, whichever flavor you want to join, you can go check them out. So gang, thank you so much for watching for the 3rd time, I think I've said that. And until next time, keep displaying model behavior.